it's just unbelievable. There have been several young people in Parliament who've said they don't actually feel safe working in there and walking around there, which is quite a shocking thing considering you're supposed to have the people who are representing our country, representing our values as a country, who are working there, and they should be following the line of the law. They should be following the values that we want as a country and that we should be proud of.
So, where do we go with this story? Do we think that the Prime Minister is in big trouble over his sort of lack of judgment, given his past allegations against Pincher? Or do we think that Chris Pincher is showing a lack of judgment in not having basically resigned already?
I think they both are, to be honest. Boris Pincher's clearly shown a lack of judgment in more than just not resigning, in terms of this has been a long problem going back all the way to 2017 where there were allegations made against him. And he hasn't resigned yet, which is quite shocking considering what he's done and who he's representing, which is us as people. But then Boris also has not exactly been a paragon of virtue in removing him, so it took him a long delay between him resigning as Deputy Chief Whip from actually being suspended from the Tory party. So this was after only a lot of pressure that came under.
Yeah, I'm looking at the front page of the Metro here. They're saying the Prime Minister said to have quipped in 2020 about Pincher, he's handsy. That's the problem. Pincher by name, Pincher by nature. And Dominic Cummings, the ex-advisor of the Prime Minister, has made a similar claim in all of this as well.
We should, I suppose, at this point out that they are allegations at the moment. Nothing's been proved. They've all been denied as far as we know. But, you know, this is a headache. This is a problem. What's the resolution in all this? How quickly can the Tory rebels, who were already, let's be honest, disgruntled with the Prime Minister, see this resolved?
Well, it comes down to a lack of judgment again, doesn't it? If is the case that we're hearing from both Cummings and the Prime Minister, if this is true, they knew this man's reputation, yet he is still appointed in a position of trust and authority.
Exactly, and it's more than just Dominic Cummings, actually, that are saying that he's got a reputation for doing this sort of stuff. There have been several other MPs that have come forward, and clearly in the House of Commons, people knew him as this sort of a character, and there is lack of being held to account. So you were mentioning how do you hold these people to account? Part of the problem is that a lot of MPs are very, very tied closely with Boris Johnson. Their careers are so tightly closed to him that it's, for their career, it's obviously possibly not the best thing if they were to criticise. But on a moral level, it's just, how can you do that? How can you not criticise Boris on what's going on, and how can you not criticise?
Very short-sighted as well to take that approach, because this could well end up in a third by-election. The last two most recent ones, hugely disastrous. And if this pattern continues, they'll be out of power after the next election.
For sure, and I think that's part of the reason why Boris doesn't want him to resign. It's because he doesn't want another by-election. And also, Pincher was an arch-loyalist. Contrasted Neil Parish, who was essentially kicked out straight away from the Tory party, who was more independently minded. Here, Pincher is a massive supporter of Boris. He's always followed the line. And so for Boris, it's politically harmful to have him gone, even if this person's clearly been morally, allegedly, not very upstanding.